Hi, I'm Councilwoman Suzanne Klapp here in the City of Scottsdale, and this will be the second in a series of programs to discuss the Human Services Department at the City of Scottsdale. Our last program was more of a historical perspective on the two senior centers, but today we'd like to delve a little bit more into the services that are provided at those centers so that people can have a better understanding of all the things that are offered at both our senior centers. We want to make sure that our citizens are aware of these programs and services, as well as people who might feel that they need to have a little help who are getting older. Mainly we will be focusing on senior programs. So if someone is older and wants to come to a senior center and ask some questions about services that are available or take advantage of those services, we want to make sure that you know about them. I have found in talking with people in the community that there is not a great awareness of the number of programs and services available through our senior centers, and people are very surprised that we have so much available, and people also don't know whether or not they're eligible for those services. So we'd like to talk about that today. So I have three guests with me that are involved in the senior programs. And so I'll introduce them first. First we have Jennifer Murphy, who is the Human Services Supervisor here at the City of Scottsdale. We have Susan Williams, who is the Secretary to the Fire Department here in Administrative Secretary to the Fire Department here in Scottsdale. And then we have Jenny Adams, who is the Executive Director of Scottsdale Community Partners. So we have two employees of the city and one agency that works with the city, because we have a variety of agencies that do work with the City of Scottsdale. So I'll begin my questioning and discussion with Jennifer Murphy. And so tell us, Jennifer, why do the Scottsdale Senior Centers and the services that they offer differ from those offered in other cities?
The City of Scottsdale Senior Services takes a real holistic approach to providing services at the City of Scottsdale. The senior centers aren't just recreation centers. The recreation staff and social services staff work hand in hand to provide quality services for its senior citizens. Somebody could come, for example, somebody could come to the center and participate in bridge or exercise, and if they need financial assistance or emotional assistance, they can meet with one of the social workers that we have on staff. The city government has supported this approach for decades, and I think it makes the City of Scottsdale a premier community for its senior citizens.
That's great to know. Can you explain to us some of the myriad of social services that are available at both the Violinda Center and the Granite Reef Center?
Absolutely. I'm going to share a few of them, but I will tell you where you can get all the information
Great.
when I'm done. Each center has master level social workers on staff. We provide case management. We can do home visits in the home if needed. And we also broker with agencies to provide some in-home counseling if needed. In addition to that, we have numerous support groups, social groups. We have Medi-Loan closets at both centers. If somebody were to want to loan out a wheelchair, crutches, a shower bench, any equipment like that, we have that. We also have benefits counselors that come and discuss Medicare needs. It's currently open enrollment for Medicare right now. So if anybody is interested in reviewing the new Medicare plans that are out or the drug plans that are out, they can call either center and make an appointment to meet with a benefits counselor. I recommend that everybody do that once a year because the formularies change, the plans change, so it's a good thing to do that, and we have those counselors on site. For a complete list of all the services that we provide, they can go to scottsdaleaz.gov and search seniors, or they can come to either senior center and get one of our senior quarterlies. If they would like to come to the senior centers, we're always excited to give them a tour of our center. We love to show our senior centers off.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. There's obviously a variety of services available. I've been to a center where they even provide income tax help at tax season. So that's another great service.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
So also, would you Tell me then, what has changed, because you've been involved in this area for a long time. What has changed most among the citizens as far as the needs that they have and the requests they have of the senior centers?
I've noticed in the past 5 or so years that the lack of affordable housing is a real issue for the senior population. Many of our seniors live on a fixed income, and finding affordable housing has become more difficult as the cost of living has increased in Scottsdale. We don't have all the answers to that, but it's an issue that I wanted to bring attention to because we are continuing to work on that. Another issue that I have noticed is social isolation. That has been a problem for a while, and that's one of our goals, is to do everything we can to make the quality of life for our seniors better in any way we can. One of the barriers to social isolation is certainly transportation.
Yes.
And the City of Scottsdale recently has the trolley systems going between both centers. They go by the libraries, they go by the hospital, and that's one of the innovative ways that Scottsdale has addressed this issue, to get our seniors out of their homes and into the senior centers. So that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. It's been a long time coming, and we're glad that it's here. So when you're talking about social isolation, I think we could easily tie that to the next person that's going to talk about some of the programs that are available. You were the brainchild about probably 25 years ago for developing the Adopt a Senior program and the Beat the Heat program. And can you tell me why did you develop that program? What did you see as a need back then?
Well, the needs are very similar today as they were back then, as Jennifer mentioned. At the time, it was about 1996. We had just opened as a senior center up at the Via Linda Senior Center. We had a strong, innovative management team there. We had a couple of homebound seniors. They were sisters. They had no family. And we had heard about their needs coming around Thanksgiving. And just as a staff, we gathered together some food items, some clothing items, very simple items, and delivered them. Well, that was the beginning of the Adopt a Senior program, because next year we expanded it and included some of our seniors that were homebound on the Meals on Wheels program, and the Senior Bridge Club that met on Wednesdays there under the direction of Josephine Dalsky started collecting just $0.25 per player, and that was the beginning of a nest egg for the program. And we used that money to buy presents for the seniors for the holidays, and we would do a home delivery to them. And it would be social workers and senior staff that would go out and go to their homes, bring them gifts and presents, help them open them. And what we found out at that point, as Jennifer mentioned, was just a strong degree of isolation. They're kind of an invisible population, and the needs they have were so simple and so basic. We would ask them what they would want and need. Very simple requests, things for the bathroom, washcloths for the kitchen, candy maybe, a little cookie or some play toy for their dog or cat. So we found it was a very simple program to implement, and once it expanded after years of doing it, we had no trouble finding donors in the City of Scottsdale who were willing to adopt a senior.
Wonderful. You also developed the Beat the Heat program, and I wonder if you would explain that to the viewers.
Again, that was a wonderful idea that was brought up by our social worker at the time, and we built on that because in the summertime in Scottsdale, many people leave town. So if we had a senior living in their own home by themselves, perhaps their neighbors have left town, family have left town, they were even more isolated than at the holidays. And as you know, in the summertime here, costs for energy raise, to an unbelievable number for some of these seniors, and we would find them in distress. And so we decided to do just a simple program of emergency items like water, maybe sunscreen, maybe a hat, a fan, or we'd ask them what else they needed. And so again, we would do that home visit and go to their house, talk to them. We found that home visit was probably more important than what the items were that we were giving them, because we could meet with them, talk with them, find out what their needs were, see if there were any other emergent needs that needed addressing right away.
Those are both wonderful programs and still going on today.
Even bigger than ever. They've really expanded it.
Absolutely. So what do you remember about the impact of these programs on the residents? Can you give us a little bit of idea of their reception to all of this?
We loved going into their homes, and they would ask us sometimes to stay while they opened the gifts. And of course, we sat there and we would stay and watch them open, and they would open it and just exclaim, "Oh, this is just what I needed," or "This is so new, I haven't had new bath towels in so many years." And just seeing the joy in their faces for things that were so simple and so basic and so easy for us to give to them, I think that was probably the most heartwarming. And then we had a relationship with them that would continue through the year. So they had a phone number, they had a face, they could call. So if any questions or needs would come up, we would be there for them.
And do you feel that Scottsdale is unique in providing these kind of services? You know
Oh, yes.
about other cities and what kind of programs are available. Do
Truly.
many cities do this sort of thing?
You know, I wish they would. I think that would be a wonderful thing. But Scottsdale, I do believe, provides the best senior services of the entire state. I don't know of any other community that is extensively into the lives of the seniors that are seriously in need. As Jennifer mentioned, those programs really meet some deep needs, very deep needs of the seniors, and I think Scottsdale excels at that. We've had leadership at the senior center all the way up through government to the city council that has affirmed what the staff are doing and the needs that we are meeting.
Yes. Well, I mean, we have found it so important over the last number of years that I've been on the city council to encourage senior programs to recognize that we must be an age-friendly city and that we have a growing senior population. So these kind of programs, as well as some of the things that Jennifer mentioned, are highly important to make sure that people feel they want to live here, they don't want to move to another city, they want to stay here in the city of Scottsdale and remain a part of the community. And so yeah, I commend the work that you did because that was back when you worked at the Via Linda Senior Center, and now you've transitioned into other areas, but I know that this is probably still very dear to your
Very
heart,
much
these
so.
programs. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so then we'll move to Jenny Adams, and as I mentioned, she is the Executive Director of Scottsdale Community Partners, and yours is a separate agency that partners with the City of Scottsdale. So what's the history of the Scottsdale Community Partners? I think it was a different name for a while, and how far back does it go?
It was. Scottsdale Community Partners at the time was called Concerned Citizens for Community Health. It was founded 43 years ago in 1975 by Frances Young. And almost everybody I run into has a story about Frances. She was a very determined South Scottsdale resident who started to see the need for social programs in Scottsdale and really pressed until that happened. And she formed this little nonprofit to partner with the city to make it all a possibility.
Well, it sounds like it was a great idea and wonderful that it's still continuing today through Scottsdale Community Partners. Can you explain then the partnership between your agency and the city, and just exactly how are you involved in the programming and the services that are available through our senior centers?
So we're so lucky to share this great relationship with the city. How it kind of works is the city does the screening for the programs. They carry out the programs, they make sure the programs happen, and then we're able to come in and be the fiscal agent. So we're able to provide funding for the programs. So the great advantage to it is that donors can donate to the nonprofit, which is Scottsdale Community Partners, and take the tax credit. They're eligible to do that because we're a 501c3 nonprofit. Right. So then we are able to purchase what's needed for the programs, and it's just a great relationship.
So do you have a website that's available to explain these programs, or do people go to the city website to donate? How do they do this when they want to contribute?
The easiest way to contribute is to go to the website, which is scpaz.org. They can also search us on Facebook, Scottsdale Community Partners. And then people, if they wish to, can also donate in person at any of the centers that we're involved with. So that's Via Linda Senior Center, Granite Reef Senior Center, and Vista del Camino. Or they can also send in a donation. Address on the website.
So how many people participate in the programs today? The Beat the Heat program, the Adopt a Senior program, any of these programs that you're involved in. How many people are there?
So this year in the Beat the Heat program, we had about 250 participants, which is fantastic. Last year with the Adopt a Senior program, we did about 330 participants, which I think is the largest we've ever had, and we anticipate about 330 again this year.
So people are still signing up?
People are still signing up, yes.
Okay. And do they, if they want to be a recipient, do they come to your agency, or do they sign up on the city website,
They
or
can
come
go
to
to the city
senior center?
They can go to the city website and search seniors, or they can come in to Via Linda Senior Center or call Via Linda Senior Center, and we'll get them in. We'll get them moving forward.
They or a family member.
Correct.
They
Yes.
could sign up to participate.
Correct.
That's wonderful. What about the Beat the Heat program? Is it about the same amount of people that are involved in
It's
that?
a little bit less. I think last year we did 250. We had 250 participants in the Beat the Heat program, so it's a little bit smaller, but it's pretty close. And again, if somebody knows someone who might benefit from that program, they can either go to the city website and search seniors. They can come to our website. They can go into a senior center. There's lots of different ways to get involved.
So you're still taking donations, even though
are.
we're getting close to the holidays.
We are.
What's the distribution date for sending out the Thanksgiving baskets or food
Sure.
or cards or whatever it is? You might even explain what you give out at Thanksgiving.
Sure. So Adopt a Senior now has been broken into two pieces. The first piece is a Thanksgiving meal. So basically what participants get is a gift card to buy some type of protein, turkey, ham, turkey breast, whatever fits their needs. And then they also get a small bag of Thanksgiving items, potatoes, rolls, pumpkin pie, that kind of stuff. That distribution happens on November 19th, mostly out of Granite Reef Senior Center, some out of Via Linda.
Okay.
And then the next piece will be the holiday piece, where they'll get their gifts. They'll get 3 gifts and some other items. And that distribution will take place the second week in December.
Okay, great. And finally, tell us about the food programs that are available at the centers for the people that come into the center and need to have a little boost in their
Sure.
menus from day to day.
So the program that we're involved with is called the Brown Bag Food Program. It is a weekly supplementation food program for income eligible seniors. They come once a week on Thursday. They pick up a bag that has some items that will help them get through the week. It's a supplement to whatever else they're getting throughout the week.
Yeah. And there are other meals available. There's what we call the congregate meals
Correct.
that are at Granite Reef Senior Center that are administered through the Honor Health program, I believe. Is that correct, or is your agency involved in that at all?
Our agency is not involved in the
Okay.
congregate meals, but I believe that they're administered through Tempe Area Action.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
So it's not the other agency.
The Honor Health is part of the Brown Bag program.
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I got that confused. There's so many programs.
There are,
And in fact, I'll bring up another one that you didn't mention that's really kind of not part of the discussion here, but that is that the city is involved in the distribution of the Meals on Wheels program. We help fund it, and there are 2 agencies. You mentioned one. The Tempe Community Action Program is the program that delivers meals into the southern part of Scottsdale,
Right.
and then hot meals are delivered through the Foothills Caring Corps in the north. So that is another way that the city participates in food programs for our seniors. And it's financed through our Scottsdale Cares program. And viewers may remember Scottsdale Cares is in the utility bill, and you can contribute to Scottsdale Cares for these food programs through your utility bill. And we find that this is a great way to make sure that people understand where the money is going. So I appreciate you explaining some things about the food program. So one of the things that was mentioned by Jennifer was affordable housing. This is a need that we know needs to be discussed again at some future time. So I hope that at some point in a program, not to be in these series, but maybe future programs, we can talk more about affordable housing, because we do want our seniors to be able to remain here in Scottsdale and not have to move to another city because they cannot afford a place to live. So this has become an area that we are concerned about and hope to address at some time in the future. We've also unearthed in the last few years, and know that this has been a problem for many, many years, and that's the need for an adult daycare center in Scottsdale. There was one a few years ago, but there is not one today, so this hopefully would be another area that we could discuss on a future program, because this is a need that we find in the community that's not being met, and what Scottsdale is all about is finding out what our seniors need and providing programs and services for them. So we feel that this could be on our wish list for a future program. Next time we are going to be discussing recreational programs as well as fitness programs at the centers for seniors, and this is probably what senior centers are best known for, is recreational programs, but not so much the other city services that we've talked about today. And our last program in the series will be on transportation options for seniors. You brought up the trolley, so I guess I'll put a plug in right now that there is a new trolley that is operating in the Shea Boulevard area from Honor Health to the Violinda Senior Center, and it also will go to the Granite Reef Center. And this is a brand new service that we did not have available until this week. Actually, it began Monday. It used to be that you could only have trolley service to the Granite Reef Center. So we'll be talking about transportation as well. So I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Thank my guests, and we appreciate all that you do for the City of Scottsdale and for the seniors here. So thank you very much.